Hey, it's Drew Neiser with another Tuesday takeaway. We just had a really intense conversation about sales enablement. How is it changing with AI? How do you even define it right now, given all the parameters? Anyway, we've got some takeaways that I think all of you could benefit from. First up, Kathleen Booth from SQL. Kathleen, what's one big takeaway from today's conversation?
Oh, I think the biggest one is that as marketing, we can create as many sales enablement assets as we want or as AI is possible to churn out, but getting sales to use it, to adopt it is another challenge altogether and perhaps the more important one. And so I think we need to understand where sales is and what they need and meet them where they're at in order to be effective.
Well, and exactly, because you build it and it's wonderful, but nobody uses it. It's a problem. So we also did talk about how you get sales to do it, and perhaps you have that answer. We created a wonderful calculator, but how do we get them to actually use it?
If I had the definitive answer to that, I would be a wealthy woman. But I would say that my take on that is that you can't force it. You need to meet them where they are. And so understanding their workflow, understanding what's going to be easiest for them. And then I think also finding a champion within sales, someone who is willing to test and adopt. And if you can find success with them, sales teams love to gravitate towards what's working. And so I think showing the results and the impact is the most powerful persuasive tool we have in our arsenal.
Yeah, and as JD said, it's the anecdotes from the sales folks that carry the day. All right, Katrina Klier, what was your takeaway from today's call? Huddle.
I think like with so many things right now, AI gives you the opportunity to just rethink the whole deal, right? And with sales enablement, I think every CMO tries to make it fairly self-service and easy for the sales teams for the reasons Kathleen just mentioned. Like you want them to actually use the stuff. And with AI, putting this like query layer for sales on top of all your data and everything in a way that's more natural language, like a lot of these AI tools are, so that it becomes part SDR, part sales coach, part recent wins, part real-time market data, part real-time battle card. And I think that's kind of the holy grail we'd all love to get to. People are trying a lot of things, so I think it's an interesting space to watch.
Yeah.
But just keep the innovation going, I would say, and get your couple champions in the sales team that will kick the tires and tell you what's working and what's not, and then hold them up as the poster people for success when it goes well.
I love it. What was so interesting is we went from assembling the data, and we talked a lot about that, where we're going to put all of our data and make it accessible for the sales folks. Then we realized, well, their queries aren't going to be quite right. So we need a query library. But then we realized, well, geez, if they have a query library, they may not go to that because they don't go to the sales enablement tools. So now we need a query layer that makes it easy for them to find the right query to get the information that they need. It suddenly went from this should just be prompt enabled, but you can just go in and do it to something that's kind of sophisticated from an architecture standpoint. So as far as I'm concerned, sales enablement is a huge opportunity for CMOs to radically change the business, in particular, if you consider the fact that some studies show that 20% of sales time actually goes to selling, 80% goes to other things. If you can help sales find more selling time, you'll have a huge impact on the business. I'm sure so that's if you're a B2B CMO who can share, care, and dare with the best of them, do yourself a favor, check out CMOHuddles.com. I'm Drew Neiser. That's your Wednesday Oh, it's not. I'm Drew Neiser. That's your Tuesday tip. Peace out. Wait, it's not even that. I'm Drew Neiser. It's your Tuesday takeaway. Peace out.